Voice of Visionaries with Aisha. This is Aisha Iftikhar with another episode of Voice of Visionaries. And I am today joined by Miss Trisha Chapman, who is a career coach, recruitment consultant, and personal branding expert. For decades, she has been helping job seekers in UAE and Australia. And my morning has become so good and exciting to have her here. Thank you so much, Miss Trisha, for joining in. Good morning. How is your morning going?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me this morning. I really appreciate it, Aisha. Just letting you know, I just returned from the gym, so I'm really sorry
Wow.
from the glowingness. But I try to keep active in my life and make sure that I have a balanced approach to the lifestyle.
That's great. So this is the very first message from Trisha. So now, for every viewer who is watching us, please take a note of whatever she is guiding you, because yes, she has been guiding thousands of people, and I'm sure that this episode is going to help each and everyone who wants to build a career, who wants to build a legacy, who wants to get some guidance to build their resume and CV, and the impressive one. So yes, Trisha, let's come towards your journey. Where did you start this journey of recruitment and helping the job seekers?
Yes, of course, absolutely. So back in 2016, I moved from Australia, which is my home country in Victoria here in Melbourne. And then I went over without any job. I landed in Dubai and thought, right, I'm a nurse. Surely I can get a job. And it'll be easy. There's a healthcare shortage. There's lots of shortage of nurses across the world. It won't be a problem. However, once I started applying to positions and realizing the reality, it was really hard to find work in Dubai. And I was there for 8 weeks without any work and thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go back home. And so I finally kept persisting and found a job in Sharjah, which was certainly not the stereotypical Dubai where it's all fancy and, all the glitz and glamour of an expat life. And then I realized over time that there was a lack of credible information out there on how to actually land a job in Dubai. And so I thought that I could do this on the side to my nursing job and help people of all different countries in terms of what was required to be successful. And then over time, over the last probably 8 years, in fact, I don't do nursing anymore at all. And I'm purely running this business and supporting and helping people with the right advice and information that's out there on how best to land opportunities in Dubai. And about a year ago, and I'll pause after this, I moved back home to Australia, my home country. So now I'm supporting those wanting to relocate to Australia because that is a total different job market to what the UAE presents.
All right. So this is the point where you started helping people, and it's very natural. Those who are kind in their own nature, they would definitely want to help every other person. That this is the place where I was stuck, and I can help others who are stuck somewhere. So, Miss Trisha, please share with us when it comes to the career transition. This is a big decision, big move from nursing. Your background, you have switched towards this recruitment and guiding people. So, how did you find this transition? And are you currently completely towards this recruitment only, or your nursing is also continued?
No, so I guess it goes when you scale your business, you generally then take on more tasks and responsibilities. And so it originally it started, from resume writing. And then particularly what are the aspects that you need to be entering the job market, for example, your visa, your documents being certified and attested, etc. And now as that's evolved, I've pivoted into LinkedIn profiles, personal branding. I did a little stint of recruitment as well. Naturally, as you grow and on LinkedIn, I have quite a big audience, about roughly 140,000 or 130,000 followers. And as a result of that, people started coming to me to have some support with recruitment. So it was just a natural progression as the business evolved that I started to take more things on.
All right, Ms. Trisha, thank you for sharing it. What are the common mistakes you are observing when you are getting CVs, when you see the LinkedIn profiles, and how we can improve it?
Yeah, sure. So many people just copy and paste their job description. So what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, or the job advert, the description that they've received from their talent acquisition or the HR, and then they're pasting that into their resume. At the end of the day, though, people really need to understand what value is that you can add to the business. What is your unique selling proposition? And so that's what's important on the resume. So having achievements, metrics, leadership qualities, for example, who are you reporting to? Are you reporting directly into the CFO or the regional finance manager? And how many direct reports do you manage? So, for example, do you have 2 direct reports, but you manage a team of 10 indirect or distributors? So people forget that you need to be showcasing this overall scope of your work, not just what you do on a day-to-day basis.
All right. So this is towards the LinkedIn profile. Is it same with the CV? What are the common mistakes you're observing in the resume and CV, and what is the
No,
difference between the two?
yeah, this is for the CV. So what I was mentioning, that's the sort of information that you should be covering on your resume. Your LinkedIn
Okay.
profile is a bit more of an umbrella. So I wouldn't be so specific in terms of the details that you're putting on your LinkedIn. At the end of the day, the LinkedIn is an enabler for conversation. So you don't want to have a direct copy and paste of your resume into your LinkedIn. I like to have short, sharp bullet points with no filler words or phrases in the LinkedIn, because at the end of the day, people don't have much time. They're generally just scrolling through people's LinkedIn, or recruiters just cross-checking information from the CV to the LinkedIn, or vice versa. They're looking at the LinkedIn briefly to then request a resume. And so really short bullet points that are easy to skim and read, but then have a storytelling narrative, a little bit about you, from that is a little bit personalized and from a storytelling perspective on the LinkedIn bio or about section, rather than a direct copy and paste from a language model, which is what so many people are doing these days. They use the chat GTP or something similar, and then writing very typical words and phrases that come out on these language models and pasting that into their bio. And it's so obvious that you didn't write it. So it's all about prompting these language models to get the best story about you and your career history, but the value that you'll be bringing to the companies.
That's great. Like we have to make the work easier for the recruiter. Whatever we are showcasing, we have to be very transparent and clear and concise so that in a very shorter time, the recruiter can get to know that what value we are going to add, right?
Exactly it. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, when the UAE, GCC, doesn't matter, Saudi, Qatar, Dubai, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people applying to the one position. And so time is really of essence for recruiters and hiring managers, and you really want to be standing out. If you've got long, thick sentences that is really long for the recruiter to be reading through, they're just going to bypass and keep moving. But if it is short and sharp and they can quickly pop you into a screened or a shortlisted pile for them to review at a deeper level the next time that they're shortlisting candidates. So what I'm trying to, I guess, convey is you go from, say, 100 down to 50 candidates and down to 20 and then down to 5. So you want to make sure that you've got enough information that the recruiter is going to put you into those next piles.
All right. Thank you, Trisha. When it comes towards the UAE job market and everything is being changed with the artificial intelligence and technology, so there is a fear in the people also that the jobs are going to be lesser and so many works are being taken by the chat GPT and artificial intelligence. But obviously, there is a need of human brain and human mindset and human mind. So, especially for the newcomers and those who are looking to switch their careers, what would you like to give the roadmap or a guide?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's really important to be showcasing transferable skills. So in your resume, you could be having, for example, a career highlight section, and you can then put keywords that are relevant to the job description that you're applying to that are skills focused, and then link or list any in bullet point format, any achievements or any form of day-to-day responsibilities that you have completed under those bullet points that are relative to the job that you are applying to. So even if, for example, you were in, I'll go back to finance as a very common one, maybe you are in operations and you're looking to go into a CFO role, or vice versa, CFO into operations. And so you can put some of the keywords from those operational job descriptions and link the achievements to those skill sets.
All right. So, Trisha, please guide our viewers about UAE job market. If there is a person who is in any other country and wants to come to UAE, so how this journey would be, as you have also been through the same.
Yes, it is really tough these days. I want to be very honest and very transparent. And I'm not being a pessimist. I'm a very optimistic person. I have a very positive outlook, but I guess I'm also a realist. Now, a lot of job adverts are lead generations for companies, so they may actually be false, or they have advertised the role and they've actually already internally filled the position, but still leave the advert open. So there's a lot of false or red flags out there as to what is actually available. And then also, it's really important that you've got a strong network, because to be able to get your foot in the door and making sure that you are seen by the hiring manager, people trust your network more importantly than relying on a job board. So yes, you need to tick the boxes of actually applying through LinkedIn and through the adverts, but also trying to find a connection as to how you can get these conversations happening via referrals. Additionally, LinkedIn is the number one platform in the UAE that's used. But don't forget, especially if you're in probably a middle management position, the likes of bayit.com, the job boards, Gulf Talent, Monster, all of the typical UAE job boards are important to register yourself with and have an updated CV. And maybe finally, I understand it is so time consuming to apply to positions. I absolutely get it. The problem, if you don't fill out all of these ATS software requirements, or for example, in Workday, where you need to enter all of that information, if you don't have a complete profile, it certainly hinders your responsibilities being seen. And so I know it's time consuming, but you really need to be filling out the information that those companies are requesting so that the dashboards on the back end of the recruiters are seen correctly.
All right. So, Trisha, once I was having a discussion with Nadeem Lutfullah, who's a career mentor, and he gave this guide about UAE market, that if you are in UAE and you are looking for a job, so if you don't have a job, this is the actual job that you have to look for the job. So we have to give time for it and be productive with whatever we are giving the time to. So thank you so much for this thing. But once the market is competitive now, and a time comes when a person's confidence shakes, that, oh my God, should I apply for this or should I not? So anything that is confidence booster from your side for our audience.
Yeah. Um, don't give up. I mean, applying, exactly like you said, Aisha, applying for a job is a full-time job. It is really time consuming. You have to be strategic. You have to send follow-ups. You need to be searching more jobs all the time, constantly refining the CV, making sure that things are fully aligned. And at the end of the day, though, I really recommend plan ahead. You literally would be needing maybe even 9 months to prepare yourself. If you're outside of the country and you want to land a job in Dubai itself or Saudi, doesn't matter, anywhere in the GCC region, allocate 9 months as a minimum from start to finish before you are employed. And that doesn't include preparing financially and research-wise, from a research perspective, actually getting into the country, because it's so hard to find a job if you're sitting and hiding behind your keyboard versus actually going out there and physically shaking some hands, getting business cards, meeting people, and then building a reputation from a personal perspective.
Okay, thank you, Trisha. If we come towards networking, so a person who is sitting behind the keyboard and looking to network, is LinkedIn enough for the networking, and are the people getting the responses from the seniors only on the messages? What would you like to say about it?
About maybe 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago, I probably would have said LinkedIn is enough. But over time, I can really say that it is becoming harder and harder to get a reply from hiring managers, from people on the platform, from headhunters, from recruiters. It is not impossible, but very slim chances. The last probably 3 years, certainly the platform has changed because I guess so many people are messaging recruiters and hiring managers. They can then pick and choose who they want to reply to and when they want. It's not that if they post one advert, there's so much talent that they can choose from. And so that means that, they only need to reply when they have to, or if it benefits them. So I would really recommend use LinkedIn as a research tool. For example, get company names, get associate names, do a little bit of mind mapping or a career mapping in terms of stakeholders, where do they belong in the organization to make decisions? Is there people above them that would have more power to decide whether you are going to be hired or not? And then try to use email, WhatsApp, pick up the phone and ring. People forget that there's usually a person at an office desk that can answer the phone. And so try to avoid just using LinkedIn. You need to have it as one of many of your tools in your toolbox.
All right, so this is helping me definitely listening you and your advices. Trisha, if when it comes towards personal branding, since you are the personal branding expert, so where does this journey start with? Is it in the mid of the career or initially we can start building our brand? What would you
Yeah,
like to say?
yeah, very good point. Now, probably a bit of a buzzword, personal branding, again, over the last maybe 2 years or so that it's really, I guess, launched. But in essence, it's just meaning that you're having thought leadership, subject matter expertise content that's going out on your LinkedIn profile. And that can be in the form of graphics, written content, newsletters, carousels with graphics. And it just shows what your expertise is or what knowledge you've got beyond the resume or beyond your job title. And so that we encourage it these days so that then other headhunters or hiring managers can see that you're out of the thought, you're out of the thinking, you're out of the box, or you've got, maybe a different mindset than the traditional approach. And so this is the content that's driving others to your page. And so improved or increased traffic then enables better opportunities coming your way. Versus if you're just silent on LinkedIn and never posting, or you're resharing other people's thoughts, it's not really authentic and showing what you're able to offer the company.
All right, thank you so much, Trisha. When it comes to confidence, does it play important role in the job transitions or during the interviews?
Could you repeat the question again?
Okay, I'm asking about the importance of the confidence. Does it play important role during the
Ah,
interviews and in job transitions?
yeah, of course. Like the branding itself, does that enable confidence? Is that
All
what you were
right.
saying?
So,
The
yeah, exactly. I was just asking you about the value of the confidence. I believe it comes everywhere. Once we are seeing any advertisement, the confidence is there to apply, to research, and to go and face the interview. So, does the recruiter see if the interviewer is coming or interviewee is coming? So, what is the confidence level during the interview and after it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, the branding just, I guess it boosts your credibility. So if you are a finance manager, again, that you actually then are posting content about finance, maybe about the wider scope, for example, digital assets, or you've also got traditional finance, you've got Islamic finance, you've got general ledger management, you've got all of these different skill sets that require to finance, but maybe your job title only mentions finance junior finance manager. But if you're posting all of this different knowledge about finance topic, it shows that you've got a bigger depth of knowledge. And so in interviews, you then can consolidate answering the questions, your resume, and your personal brand online. And so all of this information is building a really good, credible picture of yourself. And so the branding is just another tool in the toolbox to attract audience to your page. And so it then means that you're not having to hopefully apply to multiple positions. The positions are being coming to you because the traffic is directed to your page.
All right, Trisha, please share with us what are the skills that everyone should be well equipped with is in this competitive era.
Good question. I think now with all of these digital tools that are available, I think that it's great that you can use all of this AI, but making sure that you actually know how to prompt things correctly, making sure that you are up to breast and up to date in terms of what is the best practices within your field. Um, these days as well, you're usually tasked with multiple things to be doing. You've got to be prioritized, learning what's the priority for the business, what's going to be getting you the best opportunities for your future, and really understanding what is it in your career, what is it in your goals that you want. Because so many people, I guess, plod along each day, and then all of a sudden they're made redundant, and then they have no idea of what skills that they're needing to get their next job, or they've got no plans to be able to then, I guess, work up the career ladder. What skills are they missing to be able to get to their ultimate goal? And so I think it's important you map things out so that then the preparation of your career is a lot more easier.
All right. So what I have learned from this discussion, that our pre-working is very important. Like, being on the job on the day first requires so much in the back end, and it requires approximate the research and work, a lot of work and time of maybe 6 months to 1 year, and then we are satisfied that yes, and I believe then we are ready to guide others as well as you are guiding, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So, moving towards the conclusion, I have 2 to 3 quick questions from you. When it comes to career gap, a person is on a gap and resuming back after a break, that definitely is a point when we are feeling some lack of confidence, some shakiness, some frustration also, if I'm the right fit and how can I be getting the same benefit that I was getting previously. So, what is the advice for those?
Yeah, I think don't forget, guys, we're human. We're going to have females are going to have a family, or if they'd like to, it's normal. Maybe, for example, you have some surgery. Maybe your family was ill and you needed to take care of your mom or your dad. And so we're human. So a gap on a CV, it's okay. It's okay to have that gap. You didn't lose any skills. They were just redirected elsewhere. For example, maybe you had to then starting to reorganize some finances because of supporting the family. Maybe your time management had to improve because you've got increased workloads. So it's not as if you've lost skills. It's just that you make sure that you're on the CV, you list the gap, but you can fill in the skills that are relevant to the role in another way. And so being open and honest with the recruiter and the hiring manager as to why the gap is there is fine. We're human. And I think people overthink having a gap on their resume is going to deem them not suitable for a job.
All right. So, when it comes to moving from one career to another, a transition that you have also faced, what is the guideline for those? Any roadmap for those?
Yeah. Do you mean on your resume or interviewing or?
I mean to say, if we are switching from one career to another, from one domain to another, or any department switching,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
should
So
we start with?
have a look, what skills are they requiring? For example, is there something totally new, programming, and you've never done programming, or is it a project management role? What is the skills that you've never worked on or done in the past on your other roles, and work out in a skills gap analysis, where am I lacking, and then try to close those gaps first or initially, whether you complete a quick upskilling course, something online, maybe you have an extended period in your probation with someone else within the organization to close that gap, so that then once you take on and finish out of the probation, you can then get speed to efficiency, or work efficiently a lot more quicker. But at the end of the day, you just need to be honest and say, I potentially would need some help in this area if I would be successful. However, I would be very willing to make sure that this gap is closed. And in being so, I have taken on some volunteer roles or taken on an extended task in my organization during my finalizing period, so that then when I move the transition, it's going to be a quicker time to efficiency, despite not having many years of experience doing this.
All right. So when it comes towards the red flags, we are applying at the different platforms, and when we do not have any job, so we are at that level that okay, I should grab it. no matter what is the platform and what are the details. So, what are the red flags while applying? We can check on it.
Yeah, sure. I think it's important that you ask people in the organization, check what is the culture like? What is the average employment time or duration that these associates work with? Is there a high turnover in senior management? Have they had a leadership change quite frequently? Is it an organization that underpay their associates and their employees? So really make sure that you ask around before you accept and sign contracts. You want to make sure that you are really fully understanding what the culture and what is being offered in the organization.
Okay, Trisha. So, very last thing, any golden
Yes.
tip for the job seekers from your side?
Go in there with a positive mindset. It's what you make of it, and just don't give up. Keep going, keep knocking on doors, and something will happen.
Thank you so much, Trisha, for being with us. Your smile, I wish your smile remains the same. Your energy level, a very good morning. May you have a great day. And thank you so much for being with
Thank
us.
you so much,
We'll
Aisha.
see you next time in another
Yes,
podcast. Thank you so much,
inshallah.
viewers. I hope you have got benefited
Bye. Bye
with
bye.
this. Bye bye. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.